I don't like when you call me about work when you're on your walks.
You don't like that?
No, because first of all, you're all pepped up with stupid ideas.
Okay.
Wow, that came out a lot
Pepped up with
meaner.
stupid ideas.
That came up. Man of the year, man of the year, man of the year. Welcome to the #1 friendship podcast in the country. I'm Aaron Karo.
I'm Matt Ritter. Karo, you're a rules-based guy, so I wanted to jump right in. Do you disagree?
I see I'm a rules follower. You're saying I'm a rules follower?
Yeah, but you have a lot of rules, both.
Oh, yes.
So I had a thing happen to me where I was like, I gotta call Karo, and then I was like, save it for the pod.
Save it the pod.
So I was jogging the other day.
Okay, I don't believe the story already.
Yeah, I know. He goes, the other day, you said that. You're like, you don't jog. I'm like, I do.
Guys, the last time I had experience with Matt jogging, sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
this is what I witnessed. Matt running, wearing gym shorts, and then a white V-neck undershirt on top, listening to a podcast on speakerphone.
Yeah, that's how I do it.
You run without headphones?
Yeah, because they won't stay in the earbuds.
You can get different kinds of...
None of them
You
stay
don't
in my
run with
ear.
earphones either, Theo?
They don't fit in my ear.
So you run with on speaker.
Yeah, I run on speaker.
I do the same thing.
Oh, producer Theo runs on speaker. Not everybody lives by your rules.
Okay, I sorry, I
Okay.
interrupted.
So I'm running, speaker on,
Yeah.
listening to a basketball pod, and I come across a friend who's walking, and I say hi, but don't slow down. And then afterwards, I got home and I said to my wife, I was like, I think I did something rude. Should I have slowed down? Like, what is the etiquette on like stopping your run when you see a friend?
Doing a pod about friendship etiquette. I love it. I have a couple of follow-up questions.
Yeah.
First of all, so were you running on the sidewalk?
So I was running, I run on the street, like next to the sidewalk,
Uh-huh.
facing traffic. So it was
Yes.
very close encounter. She was walking on the sidewalk with her baby in a stroller.
See, here's the problem. Since you were running with your your phone on speakerphone, like a fucking sociopath.
Yes.
You have more of an obligation to stop. Because if you have headphones in, hey, headphones.
So I've really left myself bare is what you're saying. I've actually I've given myself too much exposure.
I'm thinking, because as you know, I run 5 miles every
Yeah.
Saturday, no big deal. I've only seen people a couple times, and it's more like they're driving.
Yeah.
How good a friend?
Just like not that good of a friend.
I
Not a
think
close friend.
you stop, you jog in place for about 4 to 6 seconds, be like, hey, and then keep going.
That's sort of what I did. I didn't like just keep running,
Okay.
but I didn't stop.
Did you?
I was basically like, hey, how you doing? I'm running. I pointed to my
Yeah.
speakerphone.
Yeah. You pointed to your headphones, and she goes, what?
Yeah. I pointed to my ear and there was nothing in it.
Yeah. I mean, that's an interesting etiquette question, because especially when you live closer to me, we'd have a lot of random encounters.
Right. Like how many times are you supposed to stop for the same person?
Right.
That's another one. I walk to the same coffee shop and I see the same people a lot. And are you obligated to stop and chat every time? This is a question that kind of is all kind of part and parcel of like friendship. Of like, what are your obligations to stop and chat? Not just at the gym, but like I think in general, because I'm not just on a run, but also at the gym.
Right.
There's all these places. What is the etiquette on the stop and chat?
The problem is, and this has been a theme we've talked about in this podcast, is that some people have no social awareness.
Right.
So like, if it's your good buddy, you'll stop and chat. They'll be like, all right, I'll see you later. I'll talk to you
Your
later.
good buddy, you have no problem either
Right.
way, because your
Right.
good buddy, you could be like, F you,
Yeah,
gotta
right,
go.
exactly,
You could just
exactly.
not say anything. Like
Exactly.
when you go, hey, I have somebody on the other line, I just hang up. Because I know better.
Oh, yeah,
Like I don't
yeah.
even have to go, hey, you don't even have to say, you just go, hold on, I just click.
No, when you call, if we're talking on the phone,
Yeah.
and you go, oh, I got to take this. I don't even say anything. I just
Right,
hang up
exactly.
the phone.
That's good friends, right? Where you have to reach a certain level where you're just like, we don't even have to say whether I'm going to stick with you or not. If I decide to stick around with you, no
Yeah.
problem. So we're not talking about very close friends because everybody
Right.
knows they can do whatever they want.
I think you kind of just like, you don't come to a full stop. You come to a rolling
Rolling
keep-
stop, like
and you
a
keep going.
California roll.
Anyone who's going to get offended by it is not like your good friend anyway.
No, but I think it's less about offended necessarily,
Yeah.
but like just not wanting to be an asshole.
Right. I think when you run into people, that's a tough one. It's a real fielder's choice.
Right. Because some people are, especially like if you're a disciplined runner, I think the problem is I'm clearly like a half-assed runner.
Were you wearing a white t-shirt?
Yeah, I was wearing my white V.
Is that what you really were wearing?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like, guy on speaker dawdling with non-running
You
sneakers.
listen to a podcast on speakerphone while you run.
Yeah.
How far do you run?
I run 2.5 miles.
And do you use a sort of app to track it?
No, just my heart monitor thing that tells me the steps.
Got it.
So I could have stopped if we were analyzing like, oh, how much does this guy care about his run?
Right. But when you're pumping your hands,
Yeah.
your hand naturally goes back.
Yeah.
And you can still hear your podcast.
I try to keep one hand up.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I try to keep it a little higher. Yeah.
Matt, you are honestly, like I did know.
I've never solved. Okay, I'll tell you. I've
Yeah.
tried to solve this.
Yeah.
Beats make my head too hot.
What do you mean? What do you mean beats?
Like anything that covers the ears. I've tried other headsets.
Oh,
Like
you just get
they make my head too hot.
Okay, there's a girl in my gym who has. I actually want to get them too. They're in ear buds, but they also have an over ear thing. Doesn't work.
I just find that unwieldy. I like my thing. I have my system.
Honestly, never change that. Never change Matt. Let's talk some more.
Well, hold on. Have we solved this?
Oh, you did exactly what you should have done.
Okay. But I'm saying, does that? What about at the gym? At the gym.
Like a hey is fine.
A hey is fine.
Everyone's at their headphones.
What
on.
about at a coffee shop?
Can I say I once a buddy of mine, like a gym buddy of mine, asked me to spot him, which is that's an
Yes.
interesting thing.
Yes.
One thing I always wondered, like this guy was big,
Yeah.
and I was like, we'll spot you, but like if it goes awry,
He was putting on 4 plates.
yeah. By the way, when you're doing
You were
bench,
like, hey, can somebody else
Yeah,
spot me?
yeah.
I need another spotter.
by the way, when you're bench pressing, you don't use clips, so anything goes wrong, you just
You're not supposed to?
no, because that way if it. God, do you guys know anything about the gym?
No.
That way, if anything goes wrong, you can just go that
Right,
way.
that's
and
what I
everything
always
falls
thought,
off.
but I felt like
Yeah.
you're required.
Bench
to
is
put
the
those-
only one you use clips. But anyway, so I look it up, Theo. So I'm spotting him, and I was working out, and he's like, "Huh," and a drip of fucking sweat came from my brow
Oh,
and went
no.
into his eyeball.
I think that's the beginning of that movie 28 Days where they all
Oh,
die from the
no.
zombies.
Ugh. It was like a movie. It was like one of those super slow-mo when it made
God.
like it made the drop that went.
That's the beginning of the virus spreading all over.
And
Patient Zero, you're the
and he
French,
had to just keep working
you're
it.
the French airline steward.
Oh God, patient zero. only we would get that.
I benched 225 the other day.
Oh, nice.
All time
With
for the
clips
year.
on.
With clips of 226.
Was your trainer there?
Yeah, he was spotting me.
Would you ask your trainer clips or no clips on a
Yeah,
bench press?
I don't know if he had clips on, to be
No
honest.
clips.
Anyway, so but my point is, we're doing a friendship podcast. I wanted to be a good friend and not be a jerk, because I just wanted to make sure I was doing it right. I don't really know the right answer.
Listen,
I could have probably come. Maybe next time I'll come to a full stop.
I mean, you can always err on being a little bit more friendly.
Jog in place.
Do not stop your legs from moving.
Right. I think the jog in place is fine.
Now, if you stop at a,
I do stop at a light and jog in place.
Okay. I
Always jog in place.
The only problem is in my route.
Route. I don't know that.
In my route, there's some long lights. I try to miss them. I try to time it.
Yes.
But you get hit La Cienega, so you're
Oh,
fucking standing there
God.
for an hour.
Yeah.
Ooh, what do you think about this? This is self etiquette. So I'm using an app to try to like get my time.
Yes.
If I hit a light, do I pause it?
Because that doesn't count.
It's just a minute of I
Right, but
lost
you're
my
not, aren't you jogging in place?
No.
Oh, you don't jog in place.
Not when it's like a minute.
I see. I do the fall. You're embarrassed because you're on Los Angeles. Everybody knows you. In your neighborhood. 1 minute is a long time to jog in place.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
I do it. I got to keep the heart rate pumping.
Yeah, no, my heart rate's got no problem. So I think you did fine. I think Aaron's side. If you see the person multiple times, I know some people in the neighborhood who, if I stop to talk to them,
Yes. It's
I
going to
will-
be a 20-minute
I will die there. I will die.
Right.
There.
You'll
And
die.
so I do. I'm trying to think of the proper analogy. I don't know if it's like I don't. Is it golf where you have to like swing? You have to like
Follow through.
What's forward motion? What's that? from?
Momentum.
Is it
What?
football?
Oh, forward motion.
Like,
Yeah,
I
football.
don't-
You mean the quarterback's arm? Forward motion of his arm, whether it's a fumble.
I don't I go, hey, but I never
stop your forward motion.
Never stop my forward motion.
The ref could never blow the whistle on you.
Right.
Because your forward motion is
Yes.
still going.
Yes.
He could never spot you at that yard
Right.
line.
Right. Exactly. And sometimes they'll go, oh, I don't go, ah. Yeah.
So on the flip side,
Yeah.
I have had a friend who, we're not that close,
Mhm.
also lives in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I've been on the other side of it.
Oh.
And so I tried to say hi a few times. He's got the headphones in.
Smart man.
Smart man. And so it's been a few times. The first couple times, like we stopped for a minute. And then like, I think the next time he was like, I'm on the call. And then like 3 more times in a row, he was on like a call. So now I'm just like, I just give him a wave. So now I don't like really try anymore.
Right.
Because I feel like he's basically saying, we're good.
Well,
Because he's also basically being like, we're just high. We're just high people. He's saying we're just high people.
I mean, there's 2 things. One, he could be one of those people who like make phone calls while they walk.
He is a busy like wheeler dealer type.
Right. I don't like when you call me about work when you're on your walks.
You don't like that?
No, because first of all, you're all pepped up with stupid ideas.
Okay.
Wow, that came out a
Pepped
lot
up
meaner.
with stupid ideas.
That came up so.
I'm gonna cry.
No, that was
Oh
so
my
mean. I'm sorry
God.
about that. That was a little. But you know what I'm talking about when you get that more, because you know I'm the only one up.
Yeah.
So you're like, yeah, Karo, I woke up and like instead of a trophy, it's gonna be a. I'm
I
like,
thought
what?
they were called creative juices.
Yeah.
My genius is flowing. Well, also because it's so funny you say that, because that's probably what my wife would say. She refuses to like
Engage.
Yeah, she's like, go, leave the room. Leave the room. Leave the room. She just goes, leave the room. Not happening. Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
God. No, but also because like, here's if I can explain this.
Yeah.
There's 2 things about it. One, oftentimes we're doing stuff where we need to get on the computer, and you're like, well, I can't. I'm on the walk. I'm like,
Right.
Okay, well, I guess I'll do it.
Right. It's like you're like, hey, are you ready to do the podcast edits? I'm like, yeah, but I'm on my jog. I'm listening to NPR on the.
Or it feels like you're taking you're doing a thing. We're doing 2 different things. Like
You don't feel like I'm engaged in the thing?
No. It's like you're combining. You're like, oh, I'm going to make a call while I do this walk that I was going to do anyway. I'm like, well, now I have to stop everything.
Yes, it's called James Clear stacking habits.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm trying to be more efficient.
Dude, there's nothing in this book that I don't know naturally, organically.
There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Just start something.
So
Start something today.
Okay, that I do.
Yeah.
Stacking habits, that's just like doing stuff at the same time.
Yeah, if you're already taking a bath, do Duolingo. If you're already taking a sitz bath, do Duolingo.
Yeah. This is a whole book about this. Give me one more example from this stupid book.
You know what? I actually took a screenshot of one, I think.
Okay.
It's very funny you ask for that. Ask and ye shall receive. So this was James Clear last week.
Yeah.
Just start. Start slow if you have to. Start small if you have to. Start privately if you have to. Just start.
I mean, this is real basic advice, which is fine. A journey of 1,000 steps.
I do think, listen, I love James Clear because I do think a lot of it is things you know, but a lot of it is just sometimes you just need to hear it.
Yeah,
you know?
That's fair.
10-minute dreams, 5-minute actions. He goes, where do I want to be in 10 years? What can I do in the next 5 minutes to contribute to that outcome? No, you're not a fan?
You know, I do like that. It's just that like that's tough for our business.
Okay. Here's a good one. This was from 3 days ago.
Yeah.
What do you need to deprioritize? I think that's really good. A lot of people, these are things that you just like aren't always on top of. So it's like, oh yeah, that's right. There are a lot of things on my plate. Some of them don't need to be on my plate right now.
So going back to what we were saying, if you're stacking your habits, but what about I'm the recipient?
Stacky.
Yeah, you're the stacker. I've been unstacked.
You only want my undivided attention, is what you're saying.
No, I'm just saying like call me when I'm in the car so we can both not waste time.
How do I know where you are?
So
I see what you're saying. You want it to be an equal balance.
Matthew, I'm just saying you have whatever I was working on before has now ground to a halt. Well, you're stacking habits.
Right.
We should both go for runs. We should go both for runs.
You should stack more habits.
Should,
I think I'm giving you advice here. It's not my fault that I'm stacking habits and you are. Actually, I'm now taking your undivided attention. Now I feel bad.
Yeah.
Shit. I feel bad now. Now I'm gonna only not run. So now I'm gonna gain 30 pounds because you won't let me run while calling you. So I'm gonna show up here 40 pounds heavier because you won't let me stack habits.
Let me pitch you a solution. Call somebody else.
Watch. And then Jeremy's going to be like, dude, why do you always call me when you're running?
That's perfect. That's a Jeremy, like, we're talking about types of friends, roles of friend. This was my friend who you usurped, and now he's both of our friends.
Yeah, it's more my friend.
He's maybe a little bit more your friend, but he's kind of like, if I can't deal with any of your stuff and Jess can't deal with it, he will take the brunt.
I love it.
He's an absorber.
Absorber.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one. Do you have any friend absorbers?
Who will just take punishment because they
Oh, that's a good quality. I like that quality.
Yeah, he's a
I
glutton
dish
for
it
punishment.
out.
So I have a friendship etiquette question for you.
Okay.
I don't know why this podcast has become very much about our barbers.
Oh my god.
It's very barber.
Is your barber listening?
No.
Neither is mine.
Dude.
We've basically made this the Matt and Karo's Barbers podcast show.
You know what he said? Oh, I can't believe I didn't tell you this. He goes, I'm like, did you listen to the podcast? He goes, I don't listen to podcasts. I go, why? He's like, because I listen to this shit all day.
Barbers are the original podcast listeners.
Yeah. Or he should just have a podcast which is recorded at his thing.
Yeah, but he's
habits.
basically saying he listens to podcasts all day.
Yes, exactly. So I text him, I don't go through the normal reservation system for my haircut.
I have something funny to tell you about that.
Okay.
Now.
So I just text him, hey, can I come in? He's like, sure. And then I was like, oh, are you going to this party next week? And he's like, oh no, I can't go. And I was like, you pussy, whatever. And then his wife writes back. She goes, actually, this was Leslie responding from Shane's phone. So he lets his wife access his textual messages. His text messages.
No.
Now, the one qualification is that they work at the shop together, so it's like business, but dude, and he didn't, no disclosure.
Right. You can do it, but you need to know that they, like, I know my brother and his wife, like, share their phone, essentially.
They share.
My point is he's let me know.
Yeah.
That phone is open for, it's not private.
What's the word when you start a new job and they say you have no blank of privacy, no presumption?
Yeah.
Like your emails will
be. Yes. Why can't I think of that word? No expectation of privacy.
Yes. Oh, interesting.
Right. So certain people, if you know that you have no expectation of privacy, fine. But if you don't know,
right,
they can't just be like, hey, my wife thinks you're an asshole.
I have 1,000 questions.
Yeah.
Why do they do that? Just because it's a husband-wife thing?
Milk toast.
He's soft. He's a spongy soft boy.
We have, if we ever start a Patreon, which we will, for our super subscribers, I will give them some hack tips for that.
Hack/tips.
Yeah.
Of how to share your phone with your.
No, of how to avoid the coverage, how to get around that.
Oh, how to outkick the coverage.
How to outkick the coverage.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting thing because in my relationships, my girlfriends have known like my passcode. Like I'm always like, I'm not hiding anything.
Right.
If you really want to get in there, fine. But there should also be an expectation of privacy.
Oh, totally.
Like
I agree.
I don't want anyone looking at my email. They'll think I hide.
I agree, but I think in our friend group now, like everybody kind of knows that the wives may be looking at our group text. Jesse sometimes sees it and it's like some ridiculous, gross meme. And then I'm like, Karo sent me this thing.
Yeah, it's not me. It's not me.
I mean, she doesn't care, but also it's like, save that for a call.
But we need to be able, we're men.
But also calls, you need to be able to know if you're on private. You ever get that you're on speaker and you don't know that there's somebody else in the car?
I had to have a conversation with a buddy.
Yeah, you got to explain it. The first thing you have to say is, hey, how you doing? I'm in the car with my family.
Yeah. Hey, in the car, hey.
Yeah. Or you have to create a code.
And we let's not give out the code, but we'll say, this is a great
hack tip.
So hack/tip.
Well, we're not giving away our code.
No, we're not giving our code, but Matt and I and some of our friends in a group, we have a code that if a significant other calls, if you're with a significant other and someone calls you, you mention something in the first 3 seconds offhand that lets them know.
This is the most genius hack tip ever. And you always have to be changing the code.
Yeah. It's a constantly changing.
This is like the Cold War.
Yeah.
You have to always, they're going to need an Enigma machine to catch us.
And by the way,
we're not even saying anything bad.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, it's not like, it's good for everybody. The wife doesn't need to hear.
It's also, I think what you're saying is it's because you're supposed to have an assumption of
Yes.
Expectation of privacy.
Yes.
But, there's just a lot of milk toast out there. You're just like, man, it's all, we're one unit.
Right.
I don't love that. Like my wife and I are independent people. And we have a very great relationship, but like, I don't like the one unit. So all of our communications are just us.
Dude. So our great friend Christina, who
Yeah.
we were speaking before, her parents have never spent a night apart in 51 years or something like that.
Well, you might say, oh, that's not healthy. But then you go, well, they're together for 51 years. So maybe it is.
Right. That's some fucking codependent
Yes.
shit.
Right. But I'm saying that's my initial thought of, but then I'm like, damn, I don't know anyone else who's been together 51 years.
Yeah.
But also those guys can't survive a day. That gen,
right,
without their wives. That's why they get married. Like they get remarried the next week.
Right.
You know, the guys of that gen, they get divorced. They're just like, this is my second wife. I met her at the grocery store.
No, I met her at the funeral.
At the funeral, yeah, right. I met her at the funeral.
She was the nurse.
She was the nurse. Yeah, she was my colonoscopy nurse. So this is my other etiquette question.
Yeah.
Parents are sensitive. I find that I know you're really good at like schmoozing other people's parents. I know you do it genuinely.
Yeah.
But do you think that like anytime you're around somebody else's parents, you're like obligated to go a little further, like put on a little more schmaltz? Cause like my mom got offended recently that she didn't get she kind of got like quick talked by like real quick. Like it was like, not even like, hey, how are you? Like they had just met her for the first time and it wasn't like special. It was a friend.
Was there a lot of people?
It was at a bar mitzvah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that can be tough. When the parents are around, you put on the fucking song and dance.
The song and dance. Top hat.
Soft shoe.
Yeah. Soft shoe, top hat, little stick.
I will say parents generally love me.
Yeah.
I recently had my ex-girlfriend from 6 years ago be like, my mom's in town. She wants to see you.
Oh, that's nice.
So I spent like 3 hours with them.
Put in the effort. You know how sensitive these people are too.
Yeah, I don't think it's about sensitivity.
No, but I do
it's
think
respect.
It's respect. But I'm saying that whole generation, respect is a core.
But dude, I expect if your fucking kids not respect me.
I know. But I'm saying like I was raised like my dad, respect was everything. Like that's, I don't know. I just feel like some people don't realize like, dude, it's a matter of respect. You gotta, you don't just like treat them like you would any other encounter.
I also love parents.
Yeah.
Parents are great. I love, because we are so fortunate to still at this age be making new friends.
Yeah.
I haven't met some of the friends.
I like this. We're now, because we moved, when you relocate, actually, that's a cool thing about relocating. You get to meet new friends' parents. Because you don't really know them if you haven't met their parents in some ways, right?
So my friend Dan, he's from Montreal, Toronto, Canada. And his dad was visiting the first time in like 10 years. I'm like, I must meet your dad. We went to Masters together. Yeah. It's like 3 guys and his dad.
That's amazing. Don't you feel like you get him more when you see somebody's parents? You get another glimpse. Like you get to, I feel like you're closer. You become you take another, you level up the friendship. Just meeting the parents is like its own new level.
I'm going to share one story, which I think is probably fine, which is like the pimpest story I've ever heard. The dad, I think Dan's a little older. I think the dad's maybe 80. He said that he was dating the eventual mom. You know, I don't know, when was that? The 60s, the 50s? I don't know. But he was still living at home.
Okay.
And his mom was still like...
he's living in his mom's basement.
No, I think living in his like childhood bedroom.
Oh, his bedroom. Okay.
And this is the dad.
I got it. 60s.
And what's it called when the mom doting on him, whatever, until he was 31.
Okay, so
I was like, "What kind of doting?" He's like, "Oh, she served me breakfast in bed."
In bed.
Breakfast in bed at 31.
That's a little like, I don't know, horror film-esque.
Pimp.
I don't know. It feels a little horror film-esque to me.
And
like Norman Batesy.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
You want your mom to serve you breakfast in bed.
I think after the eventual mom, either the girlfriend or someone said, "It's time now."
Yeah, I'll serve him. The wife was like, "I'll serve the breakfast in bed now."
That's a great thing.
My time.
Breakfast in bed at 31.
Wow, it's a little.
What do you think about breakfast in bed?
I never allow food in the.
He doesn't allow food in the bed, but the dog could fucking run in the slop. Okay, we're not getting into it.
We won't get into Karo's bed hate and my dog love. But yeah, no food in the bed.
Got it. But I think that
except now that my wife's pregnant, I've broken.
Of course, she can do whatever. She can literally do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
No rules.
But I still was like, please don't get any food in the
bed. So it's funny. Someone just told me an anecdote. that EMTs, when they have, they're eating lunch, they're eating in the ambulance, you just get eating to go.
Yeah.
They wear surgical gloves to eat their sandwich and then just take the surgical gloves off. They don't have to wash their hands. No contamination.
Oh man, can you imagine if you were like having a heart attack and some EMT's peanut butter got all over your face? Just like mouth to mouth.
Oh.
They're doing mouth to mouth, and they have sardine mouth, and it's just like there's just like a little drippings of just sardine.
But yeah, I think that parents, that's very important to treat the parents well. If you're visiting home, sometimes I'll stop in, say hello. If you're picking your friend up, come inside.
Yeah.
If you call, no one's really calling landlines anymore.
But I think my point was like, now, especially if you're, making new friends, right?
Yeah.
I think you already know this with your old friends, right?
Yeah.
Like you're already very fond of their parents usually for the most part. And so it's easier. But it's like, I just noticed that because our friend brought his mom to a party that I threw, which was really nice, you know? And I wanted to make a point to be like, even though
he was almost like, oh no, we're gonna be here for two in and out. Like, whoa.
We want to meet your mom.
Come in.
Right. Like we want to meet your mom.
Yeah.
I think it's important. It's like a hack / tip. Make your friends' parents feel special. I think that goes a long way towards your friendship, but I also think it's the right thing to do.
Dude, when you're with a new friend's parent or a parent you have not met before, and you're nice to them, which again is the right thing to do. What do you think happens when you leave? Oh, Jimmy.
I love him.
And what a nice boy.
Narcissistically, you're like, I want to be the person that they love.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love being a mama's boy to a different
mama.
mama's
boy to another mama.
Yeah.
What's better than that? Okay. So those are my etiquette questions. But now.
Wait, it wasn't me, right? Because I didn't talk to your mom for that long because it was a different
It was
party.
at a bar mitzvah that you were not at.
At your Christmas Eve thing,
No. It was a new person.
But our friend Dave, who we'd never met, I saw he was talking to your mom. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, he's good. He's a mensch.
That was really nice.
Yeah.
So should we do a
listener question?
Asking for a friend.
This is Asking for Our Friend, our segment where you, the listener, ask us, the friendship experts, a question. You can hit us up on Instagram or Twitter, TikTok. You could email us whatever you want. We will anonymize it or DM us, and we'll answer it on the show. So, Matt, what's our question?
So this is a topic that I've been getting a lot of people asking me about. So I was like, finally, I can't believe we haven't done this yet because we're all about positivity with friendship. But let's be real. Friends often exhibit behaviors that you don't acknowledge or you avoid or you deny. So I got a question from somebody that said, what are the signs it's time to drop a friend red flags, if you will?
Well, one, they're not timely. They're text responses.
Wow, this guy went straight nuclear on something that was 50th on my list.
No,
that's your number one red flag.
I don't like untimeliness because I need answers to whatever I'm doing.
Oh my God.
I would say, unreliability is huge.
Okay.
Talking shit is obvious.
Yes, those are very obvious ones.
Usurping without proper clearance.
No, wow. This is a Karo specific list.
But what other lists are there? Fucking, I don't know.
Here's one for me.
Yeah.
One-sided curiosity.
Oh, yeah.
And by that, I mean, you go to dinner.
Right.
Whether it's one-on-one or another couple.
Yeah.
And you ask them about them.
Right.
2 hours, not one question about you.
But that doesn't ever happen to me because that's not a friend.
I'm just saying,
right.
These are things, by the way, this is a lot of people emailed me their responses too.
I
put this out to the community.
Yeah.
I think when people are basically saying, I don't care about it. They're basically saying, I'm not that interested in you.
So
that's their way.
They don't ask you any questions.
Yeah, they're just not engaged. It's very one-sided. And I think one-sidedness in general is a big red flag. So one-sidedness of the making plans, of the following up, if
you're trying too hard, it's not a good friendship.
Right. I don't think friendships have to be 50-50, but if it's like,
sure,
I always ask you to come.
Yeah.
You've never asked me to do anything.
Right.
But sometimes that's like, I don't know, that's like a role. Like some of my family members, like some people are the people that, that's just how it is.
To be fair, I allow your plans to come to me. I'm never usually like, let's do something, but that's okay. Okay, so unilarity, asynchronous
Yeah.
friendship.
Not making an effort to show up. Look at important events.
Again, this is like low hanging fruit.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
person doesn't come to this important event,
Right. That's an easy one.
like unless there's a major issue.
Yep.
That's the whole point of friendship.
Right. Show up.
If you're like doing your show or someone passes away or you need a real big favor.
Yep.
Like if someone's asking every month, that's bad.
Yep.
But like you need to be able to call on somebody every once in a while.
Yeah. This was one I got. When someone says we need to hang out more, I never see you, but you literally just spent like the entire lunch or evening with them. That was a red flag for one of our
I don't
users.
understand.
Basically, like acting like you never hang out.
When you just hung
When
out.
you just hung out. That was a very specific red flag.
Going back to the picking up thing. Remember when I had my shoulder surgery? This was about 2012.
Yes.
And
Wasn't that from after we got jumped?
that was the like tertiary.
Oh,
act-
yeah.
well, that'd
It
be
was from
another-
hooking up. It was a hooking up injury.
I fell out of a hot tub in South Beach.
Yeah.
In
You sound like Deion Sanders after he found God. He's like, thank God I'm not in these hot tubs with all these women and drugs. Thank God there's not 9 or 10 women giving me blowjobs in a hot tub. Thank God I'm mature now.
and so you were supposed to pick me up after my surgery.
Okay.
And
Did I?
The surgery in front went long. And so I went in late and then I came out late. And I texted you, like, listen, I had a show, so I can't pick you up anymore.
No, that's not a red flag.
So my cousin picked me up.
He's been holding this. Producer
No,
Theo,
I'm
can
not
you
mad.
believe this?
I'm not mad.
Oh, he's so mad.
No, I'm not mad.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, it wasn't, you tried,
I tried.
But
Yeah.
like, if I was in a car accident, you would just not
Yeah, I
come
would
to
have
the
canceled
show.
the show. Not for a
Right.
shoulder.
Right.
Not for
No,
shoulder
no.
surgery.
I think it's got to be sort
It's
of
got to
like
be the core.
neurological.
It's got to be
yeah.
the stump core.
No, it's got to be neck up or dick down. Torso or head.
Right. That's what I'm saying. The stump. This is the stump.
The torso?
Yeah, that's your stump. If you got your arms and legs cut off, you'd be a stump. That's the stump of the body.
Yes. If something, no, not the stump. I'm saying neck up, dick or brain.
I don't know what you're saying right now. I'm saying arm or leg injuries.
Don't count.
Right.
Right. Okay. I'm saying about what does count.
Yeah, the stump.
Yeah.
The stump is your core.
Stop saying stump. I don't mean stump. I mean brain.
Stump includes your brain. The stump is your
The things
core of your
okay,
body.
you know what? You're right. Stump injuries, you cancel whatever you're doing
Yes.
and you come.
That's right.
Before we talk about dropping a friend, can we distinguish between the sort of one-sided friendships and flakiness? I don't know if we've talked that much about flakiness, which is like make the plans and then break the plans.
Oh, that's so frustrating.
Yeah.
So frustrating. Like you're counting on that person. That's your night, especially as you get older. Like, no.
Yeah.
That's my night. Now I can't make any other plans. Nobody else is around to make other plans. I think you do that enough, that's a friendship ending quality.
What do you think is the time horizon for like confirming, canceling, all that stuff?
So you mean like, can you cancel last day of?
Like, first of all, let's say we make plans for February 18th.
What is it? Is it a concert? Is it a dinner?
We're gonna go to dinner.
Okay.
In 6 weeks.
Okay.
Put it on the calendar.
Fine.
Now what happens?
So now it's what?
Will you tell me?
2 days before?
No. Do you confirm if you're the?
Yeah, you got to confirm. I'd say a week before.
Okay.
And you don't have to, but you should.
Yeah.
You should confirm a week before, and then it's assumed you're coming.
Right. I mean, presumably you talk the day or two before to
Yes.
like, logistics.
Yes, but if you're going to cancel, can you cancel that day?
It has to be
Right.
serious illness to the stump.
Right.
No.
The thing is, you know who's canceling for
I
what
know.
reasons. That's the thing.
Right.
It's like we're playing this game of like you don't know your friends.
Right.
We all know when you're lying. And that's the thing. A lot of times, like, you know that friend is lying to you because they have a pattern. It's not like the reason that you're calling bullshit is because you just like don't believe they're sick in that moment, because you would err on the side of believing a friend if they don't have a pattern of being like, oh, I have so many stomach aches every time I'm trying to have dinner with you.
Right. The way you know to drop a friend is when you're not excited to hang out with them anymore.
Okay. I think that's too far aligned for me.
Too far.
Yeah. I'm not like always excited to see you.
Like, I don't know. I guess I guess it's very organic. Like you just stop talking to them if they
Yes.
suck.
Right. I think it's if it doesn't serve you.
Well, that seems
Like
a little.
if this is not healthy for you, that's definitely like
Right.
for me, that's like if this is not healthy for you, definitely get out. If you're having bad feelings, this person's canceling on you or not making you feel bad about yourself
Yeah.
or talking badly about you. Like how many times do you need to know somebody's talking badly about you? How many times do you need to know somebody's not going to show up when you're expecting them to show up?
Right.
Like how many times do you need to feel badly about yourself because of that relationship? That's not a friend.
Friendships are supposed to be a positive thing,
Exactly.
nourishing.
Exactly. But not feeling excited about somebody, I don't know. I think friendships go in ebbs and
Well,
flows.
just saying.
I'm just saying, I think
Yeah.
also friendship goes in ebbs and flows. Like sometimes you're more excited about certain friends in life. And I think that's like the natural course of things. You know, you grow apart based on things you have in common with people and you drift.
Right.
That doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, I can't be friends with this person anymore.
Also, what does dropping a friend mean? I mean, I know we've done an episode about losing.
Right. That's
friends.
why I'm saying dropping is like for unhealthy. That for me, when you say when should I drop a friend, it's like when they're exhibiting a pattern of unhealthy.
But what does
behaviors.
dropping mean? You tell them I don't want to hang out with you, and you just ghost them forever.
How do you do it? You mean do you communicate? Hey, I don't want to be friends with them.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have to do that?
No, I'm saying you probably just
You probably just stop hanging out with them,
responding. Yeah.
which is going to be easy because they keep flaking on you anyway.
Right. But then they can be like, oh, why didn't you? You know.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a joke. I do have one friend that I continually try to make the plans for,
Mm-hmm.
and they never make it. But they have a job that is brutally hard.
Right.
But they're also in a bad place. So should I drop that friend? I'm inclined to keep that friend because I love that person and I have great feelings about them when I see them. But it's a continued series of me trying to make plans that they sometimes don't even respond to.
It feels like that's a keeper because it's not their fault.
I know. Well, it is a little bit is that they kind of like have crafted a life where they don't actually believe they have time for friends, which I think is a myth.
Right.
I think it's a negative myth that this person is telling themselves. I wish I could kind of help them with that, but everybody has to help themselves on that.
Right.
on that
That's
level.
interesting. If someone's like permanently so busy,
Yes. And we have friends like this.
yeah. It's like it's one thing if you're on a movie set in Romania for 6 months,
Right.
but like no one's that busy.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody's that busy that over the course of like 2 years,
right.
you can't find a 30-minute lunch or coffee.
Like you also on this person's behalf, you need to not go a year. And are they hanging out with other friends?
No.
That's just not healthy.
I agree. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not inclined to drop this friend because I have
Yeah.
really good feelings about them.
Yeah.
I just feel bad that they have themselves wrapped in this
Right.
negative
It's also
myth.
not your job.
I know. But I don't want to drop them, is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
I think I think you may need to give it you should stop trying to make the plans for a hot second.
Right. Because it does kind of irk me a little that I'm like
Right.
continually
I know.
trying. And it's like, you didn't even respond now.
Yeah, no responding is tough.
Yeah.
Non-responding is I don't like a non-response.
Right. Right.
But I'm also not
And
at the business end of your text.
Yeah. So I don't know. I hope that was helpful. I mean, I think it's different for every person. For me, it's like if this is not serving you and not healthy. For Karo, it's like if you're not showing up at exactly 11, you're out.
Listen, on time is 5 minutes early. But that was asking for a friend. Guys, tell us about your friendship red flags. If you have any friendship dilemmas or you're thinking about dropping a friend, hit us up.
Asking for a friend.
So Kevin Hart has this incredible stand-up clip just about like your job as a friend is to lie when they need it. And
Lie
also
for your friend.
lie for your friend. And also no. Like
Automatically.
He does the look,
I love
which is
that bit.
hilarious.
I love that. I mean, we have shorthand. Like,
Yes.
we could be with anybody in the world right now. And if I was caught in a lie, I'd look to you and you absolutely have my cover story. Yeah, no, we were actually at this NASA space training.
If I ever just lock eyes with Matt, we go and we do a full choose your adventure.
Yeah, it's like whatever he says is what happened. You
Yeah.
know, it's a yes and for sure.
Now we have that kind of relationship, but presumably there's some ethical dilemmas like a friend.
Asking somebody to lie for you.
Yeah.
I really don't like when people ask me to lie.
Mm,
Like in relationship stuff, I don't want to get
Right.
involved.
right.
Never want to get involved in that.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to lie to your significant other. Like I don't want to get mixed up in that.
Yeah.
I don't know what other situations it would come up. That's really the big one. I feel like that's really the big one, right? Where I mean, I guess it's funny like in the bit, but like you also prefer for a friend not to get you mixed up in that stuff.
Right. I mean, I suppose if you like, you're going out and I guess you could be also hang out with other friends and not tell the other friend that you guys were hanging out or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think white lies make the world go round.
Yes, right. If you don't want to make somebody feel bad,
Right.
for like, oh, we didn't invite you. It's like, oh yeah, we literally just came up with this plan to go to the Super Bowl today.
Right.
We just
Right.
decided today, February 4th, we're going to the Super Bowl. We had no plans. We didn't have an extra ticket that we gave to your cousin.
Yeah.
I got caught in one of those actually. A little bit of a. I don't even know if I should tell this, but like, we were planning an event, and the paperless post went out, and somebody was left off by accident.
Mm-hmm.
And then we tried to pull, like you're talking about the white lie. We were trying to be like, they just went out. And then this person was like, really? That's why everybody RSVP'd 2 weeks ago, according to the thing?
Oh, I remember this.
That's a tough one.
But was it an actual accident?
Yes.
So then it's fine.
I know, but this person's very sensitive about their name being left off. And they were like, why is that? How come you didn't forget that? Why did I get forgotten?
Right. What's the etiquette on keeping guest lists open?
I'm thinking I'm never going to do it again. I learned my lesson. It backfired on me.
I mean, I like to see a guest list.
Right. You feel it's a little too exposure to other people. It's like you need permission.
By the way, FYI, because we did our podcast release party off your paperless post, all my contacts are intermingled with yours. So just keep that in mind next time you have a party. Don't just hit send all. There's some people there.
Oh boy.
Want to?
Yeah, we better send it to Karo to review.
Yeah. I need
Yeah.
first review.
Well, what do you think? What do you think the answer is on lying? What is the etiquette? I don't know. When we were younger, it's fun. I mean, the bit is funny, you know? Yeah,
Right.
of course, lie for your friends. Of course, you should lie for your friends. But again, the flip side is like, don't get me involved in your shit. You know, like the worst is when somebody's like, oh man, I got to tell you a secret. I'm like, I don't want to know that you're getting divorced. Tell your wife first. Tell your wife first.
Right.
Like when you're older, like when you were younger, secrets were cool. It's like, hey, I got stuff buried in my backyard.
Right.
Like now it's just like, yeah, I'm probably getting a divorce. Like, don't tell me first. I don't want to know your secrets.
Yeah.
You're basically burden sharing.
Burden sharing.
You're burden sharing.
Yeah. Well, I think we were talking more of lying in the sense like I need you to cover for me.
Right.
Which, sometimes you
Yes,
gotta.
yeah. Everybody has to have friends who cover for them. Come on. That's basic, like close friend
You're
stuff.
a good cover friend.
Oh, I'm like cover two.
Yeah.
Pat's
we'll play
D.
with running. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Pat's D.
You're deep cover. You forget.
Oh, I could pull a pick six off that QB anytime.
I mean, we talked about this a couple episodes ago, but you're lying to your own therapist.
Oh, she doesn't even know me.
Yeah.
She's not listening. She doesn't know I have a podcast.
So what did we learn today?
I think we learned that think a little more about your friend's parents.
Yes.
Give them a little shine.
Yeah.
Give them a little shine. What else did we learn?
We learned that when you run into someone in the wild, depending on how close a friend you are, don't stop your forward momentum, but do acknowledge.
Acknowledge.
Don't snub, but don't stop.
Right. And figure out, can the audience help me figure out my running sitch? That's not what I've learned. I would like to know how to fix it.
If you have weird ears.
Yeah, I have weird ear holes. Not ears. I have nice ears. Weird ear holes.
If you have weird ear canals. And also, if a friend is not giving you what you need, drop them.
Yes. And also, if you're the flaky friend, like.
Flaky friends don't know they're the flaky friends.
I know, but maybe if we have any people who are like, oh, maybe that's me, stop giving the same excuse every time you cancel on a dinner.
You at least want them to switch it up.
Switch it up.
Yeah.
Switch it up.
Oh, it's my toe. Oh, it's my back.
Yeah.
Grandma. Like,
yeah. Have some more deaths in the family.
Yeah. Or just be more creative with your
flake. Yeah, be more creative with your flakiness.
All right, that's our show, guys. Please subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. Find us on socials at Man of the Year Podcast. Be good to yourself. Be good to your friends.
Love you,
buddy.